Hey.
Welcome to CSM. It's your boy Zach.
And Tristan.
And we are ready for some fun and some games and some lessons that Tristan's going to teach.
Some lessons. Multiple lessons.
Multiple lessons. So buckle in because it's going to be a lot. But before we get started, we want you guys to invite your friends. So get the link on the top or hit the share button. Send it all your friends, whether they're Christians or not, Jewish, Muslim, that weird kid from middle school who picked his boogers in the back of class. We know who that is. His name is Jeff. So make sure everyone gets an invite to this and is here to play some games and to hear the lesson. And that's all I got to say. Tristan, you have anything you want to add just before we get started?
No. I think everybody finished school? Those public schoolers out there, is everybody done? I know my kids are, and they're super excited about not having to do any schoolwork.
Oh, yeah?
My wife is probably more excited that they don't have to do any schoolwork.
And I guess that'd be the question is, since summer is starting, is anybody actually planning anything to do this summer? Like going out of state or?
I am.
You are?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Vacation or is it like a wedding? Like
No, it's just vacation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're not worried about
No.
like anything closing again?
No, I'm not scared.
Where are you going?
We are going for half of a week. We are going to Kentucky to spend the week with a couple days with my brother and his family.
Okay.
They're here right now, but we're going to go up there for that. And then the other half of that week, we're going to Michigan to see the Rye Colts.
Oh.
Jealous.
Jealous.
Is that are they close together?
It's like 5 hours away from
Oh, that's not bad.
our brother's house.
That's not bad.
Worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
That's really cool. So Kentucky and Michigan.
Kentucky, Michigan.
I don't have any plans. I'm staying right
Like
here.
Michigan's like the worst state, right? Like one of the worst
they're like
states,
one of the
right?
strictest, I think, yeah.
There are all kinds of lockdowns.
Yeah,
So
you're
I
not
don't know
allowed to
what-
breathe
I don't know
anymore.
what's going to happen when we get there. I think that they did another extended stay at home until the 15th or 11th of June.
Interesting.
And we're going after that, so
Okay.
maybe they'll.
I saw that going into
open.
Florida, there's like a check.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't.
seen
Do they
that.
check your temperature? Like, what do they do? You know? Like, what do they do? Do they just
I
say, "Do you have
no
COVID?"
idea.
No.
I think they're
Okay.
checking to see where you're coming from,
Maybe.
because there's some like
I guess if you're coming from New York, it's like
if you're
buddy,
coming from New York, you're pretty much
we don't want you here.
nobody wants you around.
Or what's another one? Washington or no Oregon?
New
What's it, Washington?
New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Pretty bad too.
All in Californians.
Californians,
I want to say Tennessee was like a hot spot too.
really?
Who knows?
I don't know. But let's go ahead and get started with the game. Tristan, are you doing this game or you want to do the other one?
I don't know.
You do this game, man.
All right, I'll do this game. This is called the GOAT Vote.
What does GOAT mean?
Greatest of all times.
Okay.
Of something. So time to decide who or what is the greatest of all time. Whether you vote with your head or your heart, be prepared to defend your answer.
You guys can defend your answers if you want. I'll defend mine. I think.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Oh, right off the bat.
Coca-Cola.
In my wheelhouse. It's Pepsi all day, folks.
Not a sponsor.
Pepsi.
Yeah.
They've sponsored our video today.
No, watch this short ad about Pepsi.
Yeah.
But we're not talking products. We're talking about straight Coke and Pepsi, or like are we talking products of these things?
That's a good question.
Because I'm all for the Mountain Dews and the Dr. Peppers.
Well, Dr. Pepper's its own thing, correct?
That is correct.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Pepper's their own
Mountain Dew,
brand.
though, still.
Mountain Dew is a
Mountain Dew.
Pepsi product.
Yeah.
So there will never be anything close to a Mountain Dew. Sorry, Mellow Yellow.
Mellow Ale's a joke.
Not
You're
happening.
right, you're right.
But I'm gonna go with we're talking about just sodas here. So we're talking about Coke or Pepsi, not the product or not the things, just those sodas themselves. I'll say Coke.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, but it only has to be a specific kind of Coke. Like has to come from a bottle or from a glass bottle, that kind of thing.
Yeah. My wife is on here saying Coke, but don't tell me. I'm watching the live stream, honey. I know what you did. We'll talk about this when I get home.
There's gonna be some problems.
He has to say Pepsi. He signed like a waiver when
Yeah.
he started working for
And now he's actually gonna get
Job
fined because his
security.
wife
Job
said that.
security.
He lost a
Okay.
paycheck after she said that.
Okay.
All right, next question.
Next one.
Ooh, ketchup or ranch?
Ketchup.
Ketchup,
What are we eating it with, though?
anything,
Oh,
and
anything?
everything.
Yeah. Ketchup.
Ketchup's more versatile.
I agree with you. Ketchup.
Yeah.
I'm not a big ranch fan.
I don't like ranch at all. So I see that, I'm like, that's disgusting.
Do you like Cool Ranch Doritos, though?
Once in a blue moon, I don't mind having a couple,
Gotcha.
but I prefer nacho cheese.
Not. Gotta be honest. All right, what's next? Voldemort or Vader?
Listen, if you don't like Harry Potter, you can just mute this for a little bit. But the answer is obviously Vader. Like,
It's gotta be Vader.
well, if you just talk about Harry Potter versus Star Wars has a bigger impact on society than Harry Potter, in my opinion.
Ooh, that
might be a hot take.
That's a debate.
know,
That's
man.
a debate right there. I mean,
Vader's
Harry
the
Potter did have
classic.
a amusement park before Vader did, so
That is true.
That's true.
But it's also hard because Star Wars has been around longer than Harry Potter.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
So it may be skewed because of that.
Yeah.
I'd go with Vader.
Vader.
Vader's also just cooler. Voldemort looks weird. He's got like
He's
a scrunched
scary.
up face.
Not a big fan.
So
But during this quarantine time, we did watch the Harry Potters,
We did.
not the
I
Star
love
Wars.
Harry
we watched
Potter.
all the Harry Potters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
PlayStation or Xbox? PlayStation. I don't care what anybody says. PlayStation. Of all.
Xbox.
Why?
I've grown up. Well, I grew up on PlayStation. I had a PS1, PS2. At that time, I switched to an Xbox 360, the best console during that generation. That's 100% a fact. But then I'm kind of jealous of PS4 because there's some games on there that I wish I could play on Xbox and I can't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for Xbox because that's what I play on right now. But if I had the opportunity to do it over again, I'd go for a PlayStation.
I've always had PlayStation, but I did have the original Xbox, like the
Oh, the
big
OG?
cube.
Oh, yeah.
I actually just got rid of it
Really?
recently.
That's like an artifact.
I know. They didn't act like it was an artifact when I traded it in, so
That'd be $20.
exactly. They didn't care. But I'm a PlayStation all the way.
That's fine.
It's just the way it is. What's next? Red Vines or Twizzlers?
I've never seen red vines in my life, to be honest. I've never seen.
What
them
is a
sold.
red vine?
It's a Twizzler, I think.
Is it?
I think they're both
Pretty
just
much.
licorice, like cherry licorice, strawberry licorice.
Yeah.
So they're the same thing?
I think
Yeah.
I think Twizzlers are popular around here though.
Oh.
Red Vines may be popular.
I can
in
tell you,
other
I've had
states.
more Twizzlers in my life than red vines. I've seen more Twizzlers in my life than red vines.
I've never had a red vine, but if it's anything like a Twizzler, I'm gonna go with Twizzlers because that's
Do you like Twizzlers?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, do you like different flavored Twizzlers?
Only strawberry. That's as far as I'll go. The strawberry ones.
I
are
like
pretty
all
good.
the funky flavors.
Oh really?
I mean, other than black or something.
Black licorice.
Yeah, black licorice.
yeah,
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I guess just licorice flavor. I like my mom has an orange cream one.
Oh.
Orange cream.
Orange cream.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's good.
Interesting. My wife loves Twizzlers.
Oh yeah.
Loves them. Oh,
let me give you guys my input.
grab a box of popcorn. It's Jordan. Sorry.
I'll say Michael Jordan. Only reason is because he's in Space Jam. Or Space
LeBron's trying to be in Space
Is he?
Jam. Yeah, they're trying to remake make another one, which doesn't make sense to me.
I love how
'Cause,
you
like-
did these two rather than throw Kobe in there. Is it
'Cause,
just
like-
too soon, Ben?
Cause like,
I didn't do this. I didn't make it.
Space Jam, nobody knows who Bugs Bunny is anymore. They don't watch Bugs Bunny anymore.
Who's Bugs Bunny?
Exactly. So, it's Jordan, all day. Next. Ooh.
I gotta go turn off the AC units.
Oh.
So Tristan, it's all you.
So Tom Brady or Peyton Manning? I like them both as people, but as far as football, I can't stand the New England Patriots. Could not stand them. I'm a Boston fan, Boston Red Sox all day, every day, but for some reason I just cannot. I don't like the Patriots. Now that he's gone, I might like Tom Brady even more.
Interesting.
But I always like Peyton Manning.
I liked his brother Eli because I feel like he's like no one talks about him.
You know, there's another one, right?
Is there really?
There's another brother.
That's even worse.
His name is Cooper. Cooper Manning.
Man,
Poor
Cooper. I feel bad for Cooper.
Don't feel bad for Cooper. Cooper has a disability. That's why he doesn't play football.
Really?
He probably would have went into the NFL as well as a wide receiver.
Interesting.
But he had some kind of disease, so he
I did not know that.
He couldn't play.
I just know Peyton and Eli.
Yep.
Wow.
Cooper
Manning.
Very cool.
Ooh. Vincent Van Gogh.
I like how they don't have a picture of Vincent Van Gogh.
Bob Ross.
Now, are we talking about like just pure like what's the style? Not style.
Happy Little Trees.
Who do we need right now? Right in like
We need
quarantine
Happy
time?
Little Trees.
We need happy little trees. Vincent Van Gogh cut off his own ear, right? That's him.
What?
He cut off his own ear.
Oh, I don't know anything about art history.
No,
I didn't-
cut off his own ear.
okay.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
But I do know Bob Ross, and my wife is a big fan of Bob Ross. She
That's
actually
good.
has a T-shirt with Bob Ross on it. So
I'll go for Bob Ross. I like Vince. I like Starry Night. That painting right there, but that's pretty much it from Vince Van Gogh that I know of. That I like.
Yeah.
Bob Ross.
What else has he done?
He's done his portrait with his ear off, where it's like a wrapping around his head. He did one of this like
I didn't realize.
Cafe
I didn't
place.
realize you're such a.
He's so passionate about it, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't know you're such an art buff.
I took art history
Did you?
in college. I
Yeah.
had to. I had
Ah,
to.
interesting.
But that's all I know about
There you
Vince Van
go.
Gogh.
This one's not even this is just stupid.
Chick-fil-A or Popeyes? So one of the funniest memes that I've seen come out of the coronavirus thing is that we were all fine and none of this happened until y'all started going to Popeyes. So
I saw
just saying,
that.
Just saying.
That's right.
Everything was fine until Popeyes tried to make a chicken sandwich and try to
Exactly.
fight the lowest chicken.
Now we got coronavirus.
Have you tried Popeyes chicken sandwich?
No, I've never been to a Popeyes.
There's
never
one, like, right down the road.
I've
Really?
never tasted Popeyes at all.
Next
I
week,
mean, I
guys,
don't
guess what we're
think it's
bringing?
terrible,
We're bringing
but-
Popeyes.
You know, apparently Kentucky Fried Chicken is going to try to do a chicken sandwich like these people.
Oh,
do.
like those? Because I thought they already had some kind of.
Yeah, but it was just their chicken tenders.
They're making like an actual.
Yeah.
KFC should stay out that race.
It's Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A all day, easy.
Emerson, you better say that because you work for them. Again,
Oh yeah.
fired. I think like half the people in here have worked for Chick-fil-A at some point. So that's your game.
Yeah.
Goat vote.
Goat vote
We got another game coming up later
after the lesson.
after the lesson.
Yeah.
Who's teaching the lesson? Oh, I am. This guy. Do you have a video?
Yes, we do.
Is it not?
You're on.
All right, so we're back. Live here at
Which I
the
realized.
CSM building.
This is like a short like sidetrack. There's churches who do this that aren't actually live,
What?
but they say they're live.
What do you mean?
Like they'll call themselves so and so church live or whatever youth group live, but they're not actually live. It's all pre-recorded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've
Oh.
been here all this time doing live, showing some love and support from you guys, and there's other people faking it.
Fake live, huh?
Fake live. Unbelievable.
I'm disappointed.
Has nothing to do with this at all. I just found that out recently that there's churches just live that aren't actually live.
Well, we're real.
We are real. We're real here.
We're real here. So, anyways, we're continuing on in our series, Choose Your Own Adventure. And so, the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about this lifelong adventure that we have to know God and follow God. Zach talked about knowing God is an adventure. It's not a formula. You're part of that, and part of our adventure is learning how to best connect with God. He talked about how important other people are on our journeys. Nobody wants to go on an adventure alone.
It's boring.
If you watch Lord of the Rings, I mean, they all have
Companions.
the companions go with them. So, and learning how to and how our relationships are a choice and not an accident. Today, I'm going to talk about a third thing that's going to help you in this journey towards knowing and following God, and that is learning how to share our own stories of faith. But there are a few reasons why you might have questions or objections about sharing your story. And so you might think, I don't even know what I think about God yet, so how am I supposed to talk about him in my story? Some of you might be like, I just found God. I don't have a story yet. Some of you are like, I've known God all my life. My story is boring. Nothing really crazy happened in my life, with God and stuff like that. And that's normal. But the thing is that the power of our stories it can affect multiple people. It can affect our own selves. It can affect a lot of things. And so the Bible is a great example of how stories are fabrics of our faith. It's a part of our faith. Scripture is literally full of all these different stories about how people's experiences with God, and their stories of divine beings speaking life into existence, and the rise and fall of kingdoms and empires, and there's underdogs, and there's misfits, and there's redemption, and there's renewal, there's death, there's life, there's miracles, and there's healings. Tonight we're going to talk about one story in the Bible. It's one of my favorite stories because of how crazy it is, just how crazy the story is. And if you don't know it, it's in Mark 5. We're not going to read all the verses, but I'll paraphrase what the story is, but then there is 2 verses that I want to read that are very important and to our lesson tonight. So the whole story is that Jesus is out sailing. He's coming from somewhere. He lands on this beach, and he gets off the boat, and there's this dude just running around, screaming, hollering. He's all beat up, all cut up. He's in chains. He's got chains everywhere that are hanging off of him because he's broken out of chains and everything. He's running in and out of cemeteries and all this kind of crazy stuff.
The fun stuff.
And he comes up. So just imagine you rolling up in a boat, get on the beach. You're like, oh, this is a nice beach. And then all of a sudden, this crazy man comes running out of nowhere and falls in front of you and starts bowing to you, because that's what he did to Jesus. I can only imagine what the disciples were like, oh my God, we're all going to die right now. Yeah. What is going to happen? This is crazy man. And so, he falls down in front of him, and the guy starts speaking to Jesus, and he says, take mercy on me or on us. So actually what happened with this guy is he's possessed by all these demons. A legion is what he called himself, because that means a multiple people. Fun fact, if you know anything about Marvel Comics, there's an actual mutant named Legion, and it's about that he has multiple mutants inside of him.
Is there a movie called?
There's a show.
There's a show, okay.
There was a TV show about it. So that's a fun fact about this. But anyways, back to this story, because this story is crazy. So there's this guy is full of all these demons, and so the demon's talking to Jesus, saying, "Please don't take us out of this land. Don't don't take mercy on us or whatever like that." And so Jesus is like, well, you got to get out of this dude, man. You can't stay here. And so the legion tells him, hey, put us in those pigs. There's a bunch of pigs around, random pigs, just a herd of pigs. And so Jesus is like, get out of this guy. And so the demon goes into these pigs. The pigs run off a cliff and die, drown. Shepherds are watching. It's crazy. This is a crazy story. And there's this dude left. After all this happened, there's this dude just laying there. I can only imagine what's going through his mind. He hasn't probably been normal in forever. He's been possessed by these demons for a long time. But Jesus says something to him in verse 19 and 20. Well, let's read that real quick. It says, and he did not prevent him, but he In this story, Jesus tells this man, turn around and share your story with others. This man's life had been radically changed by Jesus. He certainly didn't have all the answers or have his faith completely figured out, but he still had a lot further to go in his journey, but Jesus still told him, go and tell other people anyways. Just like Jesus invited that man to share his story, Jesus does the same thing, and God does the same thing to us and invites us to tell our story. No matter how recently you've met Jesus or how much he's changed your life, or if you've already invited, maybe you've already told your story before to others. Your story is in progress. It's not complete. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't share it. Now, we've talked about that, and like there's, I could talk about my own story. Like, I don't have this kind of story. Like, this is a crazy, life-changing story. Yeah. And for a lot of us, we don't have stories like that. We just have I've grown up in a Christian home. We all have that a lot of us have that kind of story. Some of us have those crazy things that happened to us in our life that God pulled us out of. But for most of us, I would say for most of us, it's just your normal, I grew up in a Christian home, I got saved, I got baptized, like for myself, I got baptized when I was 5 years old. I've lived, with Christian parents all of my life, and da-da-da-da. Like, it's the same, that sounds like a normal story. But there's things in my life that have happened that are strictly, and I know for a fact that they've come from God, and God has changed my life through those things. Whether it's I drowned when I was 3 years old, and I'm still here. I've had multiple types of weird medical situations in my life where I shouldn't be here, or I should be crippled, or there's all these different things that have happened in my life that, when you go through them, you're not thinking, oh, this is God writing a story, or this is a special story, or God's going to change my life from this. But that kind of stuff just happens, and so you just move on. But looking back at it, I can see, oh, God had a hand in that. God had a purpose for that. Mm-hmm. Here's that why I think that. And so that's the kind of stories that we can tell as people who have maybe grown up and you don't have a crazy demons being possessed inside you or whatever story. Yeah. You can still tell your story. And that's what when we talk about our stories, God wants us to share them. Maybe you're still a little skeptical or whatever. Maybe you're trying to figure out who Jesus is and what Jesus is to you. We've all done that. We've all been through that. Maybe you think your story just isn't interesting, or maybe you think your life is boring because you don't do anything, especially right now. You're just sitting at home. That's a boring life, huh? Or maybe your life is really, really hard. And it's been hard for a while, and you'd rather not think about it. You'd rather not tell people about your life and what's going on. Or maybe you're too ashamed to share your story because that means you're going to have to talk about weaknesses or things that have gone on in your life that you're not proud of. Maybe you love telling your story. Maybe you're one of those people that just love to tell, oh man, I can't believe this is what God did in my life and stuff like that. That is great. Wherever you are in your journey, you have a story to share. And sharing it is going to help you know God better than you ever have before. Hopefully by now you've seen, that you can know that if you tell your story, if you share your story, that it's a good thing. But I'm going to tell you why you should tell your story. There's a few reasons. One, because someone needs to hear your story. Just like the stories, in the Bible of transformations and stuff like that, maybe someone needs to hear how Jesus transformed you. They want to hear about that. They need to hear about finding hope in Jesus. Maybe it's because sharing your story makes things clear. Have you ever noticed when you're talking about something or writing it down helps make sense of things? Faith works that same way sometimes. When you talk or write your story, it helps you to see what Jesus has done or what he's going to do or what he's been doing in your life more clearly. Maybe another reason to tell your story is because sharing your story makes us grateful. Have you ever written a letter or a thank you note or a message in someone's yearbook and realized mid-sentence just how much you're grateful for them? It's the same thing with Jesus. When we share how Jesus has changed our lives, it reminds us how much we have to be thankful for. maybe you should tell your story because sharing your story makes you brave. The more you share your story, the easier it gets and the more confident you become in that. I know a lot of times, standing up in front of people at a youth group or in a church or whatever and telling your story is hard. Yeah. It's not easy. Like even for me and Zach, we do this all the time. We talk to you guys all the time, but that still doesn't make it any easier sometimes to tell our stories. And Jesus wants you to be brave. And the last thing is because sharing your story helps you grow. Now, you might not think about it. You might be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. That you grow after your story or whatever, or you're telling your story after you've grown in your faith. But that's not necessarily the case. But sometimes sharing your story is something that helps make you grow in faith, because it reminds you of where you were and how you've grown, and it'll help you grow even further. So, what story are you writing in your life right now? What story is God working in your life right now? What do you want your story of faith to be? And how are you sharing that story along the way? Listen, your story is in progress right now. It's not over. It's not complete. That's a great thing. So as you're going through life, as you're growing in your walk with Jesus and stuff like that, think about how you can share your story. How you can maybe you write down your story. Maybe you video vlog your story or something like that, whatever. But think about how sharing your story can have an impact on others and work towards that. You have a story. I would love to hear it. I think Zach would agree with me. We would love to hear your stories of what God is doing in your life, what he's done in your life, or what you hope or wish that he does do in your life. So just keep that in mind whenever you're going through life, whenever crazy things are happening, when demons are getting thrown out of you into pigs. Hopefully that never happens to any of you.
That'd be a crazy story, though.
But I would watch that if that's going to happen. Just kidding. But we just want you guys to be aware that your story means something, and don't be afraid to tell your story. So that's it for me for tonight.
I agree with everything Tristan said there, especially about looking back, how you can see God working. Like the thing, hindsight's 2020. I say all the time whenever I think back about my life, like, man, God had me here, had me there. At the moment, though, I didn't think that. I was like, oh, man, this just sucks or whatever it is. But it's very true that hindsight's 2020, that you can see God working in your life more than ever when you reflect back. And also, we love to hear your testimonies. And you can share your testimonies here at CSM, or you can share like on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. You can share with your friends. It doesn't have to be towards us. You can share your testimony with everyone. So, and that's part of this spiritual habit, is to talk about sharing your testimony with everyone. It shouldn't just be other Christians. It should be people who may not know Jesus. So we encourage you guys to really think through that and begin doing that, or at least processing doing that in your own lives. So I think next up is a game or a video?
The game.
Game. Perfect.
Another game.
Before we get started with the game, I want you guys to do something for me. I got two things, actually. Number one, I want you guys to take a picture of you right now at CSM. I'm going to do this earlier. We got sidetracked about something else. Watching CSM Live right now, and tag us on Instagram. We'll post on our story and just do that kind of thing. So if you're on the couch right now, take a picture of you watching CSM, or if you're in the bathroom, don't take a picture. Wait till you get out. Or if you're sitting on your front porch swing, take a picture, send it to us at CSM_Somerville on Instagram, and we will post it in our story. Second thing, if your friends aren't here yet, invite them, because we got one more game and then a couple of announcements that are very, very important. So that's all my announcements right this second.
Nice.
So let's go ahead and get started with Possibilities, a game of no right answers, just the right ideas. So the object of this game is there'll be 4 answers to a question. We just have to decide which one is the right idea. There's no right answers. We're going to give our own opinions. But there's going to be some fairly, I'll say, weird questions.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and see the first one. You're the queen. First, I changed genders. But it's time to pass a new law.
We'll just pass over that.
Yeah. A, eyebrows are illegal. B, if you make eye contact with somebody, you must immediately give them a hug. Ako taco. C, ketchup must be put on everything you eat, which kind of goes with that first game. And then D, at age 10, you pick a color, and then from then on, all your clothes are that color. So you have to choose one of these. There's no wrong answer. If you're the queen, which law would you pass? Or king, what law would you pass? Tristan, I want you to go first. I have to process this one.
I think I'd go with D.
You go with D?
Yeah.
Now age
Because
10,
I'm
you can
not
get
a-
weird. Like, I want to just tie dye. Is that an option? Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess. I just think that would be the one that is the least weird.
okay.
No.
Like I could be like,
But
I'll
see,
just wear
ketchup,
all, I'll just
ketchup
wear all
wouldn't be
blue.
good.
No.
But
yeah.
again, what happens if you can't do ketchup with everything you eat because you're going to be putting
Ketchup and ice
on
cream?
Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm
sir.
saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
Want
Disgusting.
a donut?
Oh.
I would say A, because then everyone has to do it, so it wouldn't be weird.
No.
And I think it actually goes with this picture because she doesn't look like she has eyebrows.
People without eyebrows are weird.
Yeah, but we all wouldn't.
That
have
whole
eyebrows.
It'll be
craze
the
of
new
shaving
normal.
your eyebrows, I
Yeah.
don't understand
The
it.
TikTok thing.
Yeah, I don't understand. That it creeps me out.
I want to go with D as well. And I think it's going to be. Then you can find out what kind of person that
You're
person
a guy,
was.
though. You guys are boys.
We're
so
both
you
wearing
don't
like
care
blue right
about
now.
I know. Blue it is.
But again, at that you can find out.
I
Okay,
think I
this-
picked it at 10, actually. I'm just going to wear blue.
You can find out when that person was 10. It's like, oh man, they really like the color pink, and now here they are wearing pink for the rest of their lives. Does that also include
You
like
had
their,
have blue
their
pants,
pants?
blue underwear.
It's gonna be just wear
blue
jumpsuits.
hat,
Yeah, jumpsuit.
blue shoes,
That's right.
blue
I'll
socks.
just wear a blue
fine.
dress all day.
I don't care. Let's see the next one.
Oh,
Everyone, a good bit of people went D there. Cars are illegal. What kind of transportation will people use instead? A, moose-drawn chariots, which chariot is just an awesome word. Giant hamster balls is B. So like those, I think those big ones that you can like run into people with.
Yes.
C, rocket Heelys.
Ooh.
You know like Heely skates. There's rockets on them now. Or D, stilts with rollerblades attached to the bottom.
C.
I'm going with B.
I'm going with B, too.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
That's
fun.
a lot of work, man. You gonna be walking everywhere.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I don't want to get blown up by my rocket
No,
Heelys.
I don't want to fall over all the time because I'm wearing stilts with the rollerblades. The only other good option is moose-drawn chariots. Which what if my moose needs to get a something done?
That could be
He needs to get his oil changed or something. I don't know. I'll go for the giant hamster balls just for the pure fun factor.
Yeah. Me too.
Caleb said C because I was never allowed to have a pair.
That's
Aw.
right, man. I
Is your
feel
mom
you.
in this too, Caleb? We can talk to her, see if she can get you some pairs
They're
now.
still
It's coming,
around,
it's
man.
coming. It's coming back.
Oh, are they?
Oh yeah. Now when I got them,
Get
they
you
were
some.
like skater shoes. Now they're making them look like nice
Oh,
tennis shoes.
are they?
They're making them look nice now. So I mean, we can hook something up for you, Caleb, if you want us to. See some B.
You gonna hook me up, man?
What's that?
You gonna hook me up with some shoes?
You want some Heelys?
Yeah.
You want
give us
some?
some
You want some Jordans
She was
or some Shaquille O'Neals?
Okay.
next.
Next one.
Oh, I clicked on it.
When it rains, instead of water, this falls from the sky. A, tiny edible jelly slugs. They're edible though, but I don't know if that means they taste good. B, lollipops. That's gonna hurt. C, cash money. Immediately devaluing all currency and destroying the economy. Who am I kidding? It's already destroyed. That's great. Or D, a single large duck that rampages the town.
B. Lollipops.
See, the thing is, cash money is already so it's devalued so much.
Why
right
would
now.
it devalue it?
Because there'll be an influx of money. Everyone can just get money whenever they want. But money has no. We just put value on money it isn't there.
Don't let C tell us how to use our money.
Listen, it's fiat currency. You learn about this in 12th grade. I learned that word. That's all I know about that word, though. It just means nothing. That at one point, money actually meant gold. Like there was gold attached to that. Now there's just a promise.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this dollar's worth $1. But back then it used to be like this dollar's worth how much gold is worth or whatever the thing
Yeah.
was. So money is worthless now.
I'll go with B, lollipops.
Now, do I get to choose my
Or cash
lollipops?
money.
It can't be like blow pops. I like blow
Ooh,
pops.
it's gotta be blow pops. Which flavor?
Watermelon.
Watermelon. Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
No other flavor.
So B.
Cherry, gross.
What about grape?
I'm not a big grape
Okay,
fan.
that's fine. That's fine. Next one. We saw a couple A's there on that one. No C's, unfortunately, about the money. But pick an exotic mythical creature as a pet. A feral cyclops pig goes in with the lesson. They speculated that the pigs that Legion went into were feral cyclops pigs. And that's why they ran off the
Whole
cliff.
different story.
It changed the whole thing. B, tiny winged hedgehogs named Sonic or Sanic. C, a mare bear.
What is a mare? Oh.
What's a mare?
A
Oh, a mermaid bear.
bear. Oh,
I see the picture. Or D,
A uniwhale.
A uniwhale.
Not the same thing as a narwhal.
They spell is it narwhal?
Narwhal.
Nar,
Narwhal.
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 It's not the same thing. So A, B, C, D on that. After seeing a mare bear, the answer is no for that one.
Yeah.
That's creepy and a little frightening. I'd love to see B, tiny winged hedgehogs, because that means they're
So that's more like tails.
yeah.
More like
But
Tails.
Tails is a fox.
Is he?
Yeah, and I think
He's
he
not a
spins
hedgehog?
with his
Tails.
tail.
Exactly.
Or tail is that?
Tiny winged hedgehog. Nah.
I think. Well, is the hedgehog tiny or is the wings tiny? I'm imagining.
I mean, hedgehogs are small anyway, so.
but are they even smaller?
Oh.
I think it's a smaller hedgehog with wings. And look at that picture. It has the glasses on. That's cool. I'm going with B. I've seen a lot of Bs. Choose a superpower. Invisibility, but you can't see anything. That's awful.
Yeah.
B, you can read minds, but it's all in French. Oh, oui, oui, bonjour, je m'appelle Zach. You have to learn French. That's
Yeah,
the hard
apparently.
thing. C, you can fly, but only upside down. Which, I mean, it's still not bad.
Yeah.
Or D, your fingertips shoot spaghetti. Now listen,
Interesting.
I'm going to go with D here.
You want to go with D?
That saves you money. A, worthless. You can't see anything.
My daughter would go with that because she loves pasta.
Oh.
She loves spaghetti.
B, you have to learn French. If you know French, that's
Yeah.
good. But what else if you're French and you pick B? Isn't it a different language?
I think I would do C.
You do C?
Yeah.
You can fly, but
I
only
still want
upside
to
down.
fly. You're still flying. Who cares if I'm flying upside down?
Now upside down means like your head is down, like because you usually
Or am
fly
I on my
like
back?
you usually fly. Oh, well then you can't see anything. You're just
Why?
looking
You
at,
can
you,
still
you don't
see.
know where you're going.
Everything's just flipped upside down. It's the same thing. I'm not
Next one.
I'm not flying low.
Choose a place to live. A floating castle, but it's over Detroit.
Ooh.
What are they saying about Detroit? B, underground cave system with a battler, if you will, named Cecil. C, a house made of candy, but kids are always stealing your walls and stuff. Or D, a yacht manned by tiny squirrel sailors.
I hate a squirrel, so not D for me. I hate squirrels.
You don't like squirrels?
I hate them.
What about albino squirrels?
I don't like those either.
Really? I
I
think
don't
those are
like
interesting.
squirrels.
I'm gonna
They
go
ruin
with
my bird feeders. Hate 'em.
I'm gonna go with C. I love candy, and kids can't steal the candy if I take it first.
I think I'd go with B. I want to feel like I'm Batman.
That's fine, but his name is Cecil, not Alfred.
Who
Alfred.
cares? Look at him. He's cute.
I don't. I didn't really
Might
know
get the
Cecil.
coronavirus, but I'll be all right.
This is what that man picked in China.
He didn't like Cecil.
He didn't
Cecil
like-
was mean to him.
Cecil was mean. All right, do we have another one, Sarah?
Yes.
How many more do we have?
Don't worry about it.
Oh. Time to update the dollar. What's on the front? A raccoon with a cape. B, buffalo flexing its biceps. C, George Washington, but it's a cat. Or D, a pickle with sunglasses.
Let's go with Buffalo.
You want the buffalo?
Yeah.
I'm going with C, George Washington, but it's a cat. Just because they have a picture of it,
Yeah.
it says meow. Florida's, you know.
I don't like cats.
You don't like cats? I just think that's like a meme picture right there.
It is.
But I mean, if they had a
Who's that
buffalo
pickle
flexing his
sunglasses?
biceps, I'd like that too. Was that?
So is that pickle with the sunglasses?
That is. Has yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I can't do the song.
Okay.
Next one.
Last one.
This is the last one. Choose your fighter. This is like that TikTok with the Super Smash Bros. Thing where they're like.
Yeah.
Anyway, 100 kindergartners armed with sporks. B, Kung Fu hot dog. I just spit a little right there, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
C, Brontosaurus eating pizza. Or D, Feral Cyclops Unipig.
I'm going with that one.
That thing looks menacing.
He looks
Now take back-
mythical. Look at that guy.
This person, whoever made this game, has a like obsession with feral Cyclops pigs, and they had to go a step further and put a unicorn
They're
horn
from
on it.
Texas, probably.
Probably. That's a
They
tough
have
one.
They have a hog problem over there.
Now, Kung Fu hot dog, easy. That's easy to beat. Brontosaurus eating pizza. First,
He's not
Brontosauruses are herbivores, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That pizza has pepperoni. He's out of here.
Yeah.
So
Liars.
it's between D and A. Now my question is, can 100 kindergartners armed with sporks beat a feral unipig cyclops, or cyclops unipig? And the answer is maybe, so I'm going to go with A.
You're gonna go with A.
I'm gonna go with
going
A.
with D.
Going with D?
Yeah.
That's fine. We got to figure out who would win between those two. I don't know. You guys let us know who would win between 100 kindergartners armed with sporks or feral Cyclops Unipig. Let us know. I see a lot of A's there. I think that's the winner right there.
Yeah.
I mean, they were picking A just because that's what they wanted. But yeah. Is that the last one, Sarah?
Yep.
All right, I think before we conclude, we have one more video.
Yep.
We do. And then it's just some quick announcements. So let's watch the video.
Do not let your hearts be troubled. And do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. For even though you walk through the darkest valley, and in the shadow of death, fear no evil, for I am with you. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord your God goes with you. For if you belonged to the world, it would have loved you as its own. But as it is, you do not belong to the world. For this time I have told you these things, so that in me you may have peace. For in this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world.
Welcome back. That video was a little bit more serious. But something important to know is that a lot of crazy stuff happens in the world. That's happened in the world just in general. Recently, we've seen a lot of hate crimes towards the African American community. And I just want to make it clear that Christianity and racism can't go together, and that we should be fighting against that and speaking up against that stuff as a body of Christ. The stuff that we've seen recently and months prior are just not right and are ugly. They're wrong. So just know that we are praying for the African American community, and we care deeply for our brothers and sisters in Christ, and even those who may not know Jesus, regardless of their skin color or anything about them. So we're praying for all those people. We're praying for justice to happen. But also, that's just a really depressing video. I picked it, so that's all me. I picked that video. It's really sad. But the most important thing about that, though, is that Jesus lives and that Jesus is in control of everything. Even when the world seems chaotic, Jesus is in control. So with that, we have a couple of announcements. I'm going to post something in the chat. It's the link tree. It's usually on our Instagram. But there you'll find 3 different things that are important. If you're a graduating senior or you know somebody who's graduating, let them fill out that form. We're asking them to send a video talking about their name, where they graduate from, where they're going, how we can pray for them. So that's there. If you haven't filled that out yet and you're a senior, please fill that out ASAP. We need videos by this Friday, so we're going to have a couple more days left. Next up is we're talking about spiritual habits in this series, and so there's 2 different kinds of spiritual habits in that link tree and that link right there. One is a Bible study plan. We started yesterday. You can still hop on it and join us. It's a day. It doesn't really matter. You can just catch up or take it at your own pace. As well as a worship playlist curated by our student leadership team. So if you like to worship or want to try some different worship music, click on that link. It's a Spotify playlist. That will be just a great time of worship for you. So we have those 2 things. So graduation, if you're graduating or know someone graduating, finish out that link. And then a prayer devotional as well as a worship playlist for you if you're wanting to grow in your relationship with God through different spiritual habits. But before we end, I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here and thank you for joining us. I think we have one more week of the series. But Tristan, would you mind closing us out in prayer?
Sure.
All right.
Dear Lord, I just thank you for today, and Lord, I thank you for keeping us safe. Lord, I pray that you continue to watch over us and all of our students, Lord, and their families. Just keep them healthy, keep them safe. Lord, I just pray that as lives are getting somewhat back to normal, I pray that we continue to look for ways that we can glorify you. Lord, I pray that we can look for ways to serve you in our communities, in our neighborhoods. Lord, I just pray that you are in control, like the video showed, Lord, that you are in control, and I pray that we continue to remember that. Lord, I just thank you for tonight. I pray that as we leave, Zach and I leave here, and the students get back to what they were doing, Lord, I pray that we are continually seeking this adventure with you and how we can grow closer to you through all the ways that you have opened up for us, Lord. And I pray that students remember that tonight they have a story and they need to share it because you want them to. Lord, just thank you for all that you do and all you're going to do. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. One more thing, actually. We're not meeting yet in person as far as CSM is concerned, but Crossroads is meeting, and we have a service this Sunday. So if you're not, if you have nothing going on Sunday and you're free to come to church, sign up is on the church website as well as in the church email. I encourage you guys to be there because I'm there, and I can give you guys air high fives. I can't actually give you high fives, but I can give air high fives, which means something to some people. So sign up on there and join us as a body of believers once again. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Later.